Amadou Onana.
He's lining it up, gets power on it. That time! There's no debating that. That's going to count.
Morgan Rogers.
This time, Morgan Rogers again shoots. It's the equaliser.
Ollie Watkins.
Middle for the rally. Watkins with a chance and a goal. It's 2-2.
Buendia. Aston Villa are on fire. They started badly, going 6 games without a win and barely scoring any goal. But suddenly things have changed.
This team can beat anybody on their day now. There's no holes, there's no gaps. It is just organised, and it's just a little machine that just walks away.
Villa look like a brand new team, full of confidence and belief.
This is exciting for everyone involved with Aston Villa, back with the elite.
We want to build a new history.
Yeah, what about your old side? They've really grown into this season. Yeah. They've now beaten the team who are at top of the table. They've got themselves right in the mix themselves. Do we start talking about them as title contenders?
Why not?
Unai Emery was not happy after a poor draw against Sunderland. He even called his players lazy.
It's not only tactically as well as individually. And sometimes we were on the field lazy. I don't know why.
Maybe that was the spark they needed, because since then, Villa have been on a great run. They've won so many games in a row, scoring goals again, and climbing up the table.
Where have they come from? Because they were right down there, weren't they, a good few weeks in? And now they started to hit a little bit of form, but they've got a good, like I say, a really good manager, good squad, and they're starting to perform. They've got some talented players.
So what changed? Well, the tactics didn't change much. The high defensive line is still there, and they still try and play through the middle. What really changed was the execution. The players are simply doing everything better. John McGinn, the captain, has been huge. While the forwards have been hot and cold, McGinn has consistently stepped up with important goals. Morgan Rogers has also found his form. Teams were trying to shut him down, so Emery added more creative players around him. That freed Rogers up, allowing him to get more assists and to just do his thing.
Tim, Morgan Rogers, when you have a player like that in your side, you're always going to have a chance.
Yeah, I said before the game, he's the magic man. I mean, we're so used to, I know Ollie Watkins isn't on the boil, but we're so used to him scoring, getting 15 to 20 goals, but really now this team is Morgan Rogers' team, I think. I mean, he just has the license to drive forward, get on the ball. I mean, he makes magic happen when he's on the ball. And today it was with scoring. Oftentimes it's just with the assist. But
up front, Ollie Watkins is still the main striker. But Emery has other options like Malen, who can play out wide or centrally. And he loves making these fast runs in behind. In fact, Malen has been so good that Emery has felt comfortable resting Watkins in some matches. At the back, Pau Torres returning has made a big difference. His calm, long passes help Villa break the press and start attacks quickly. Together with Konsa, he brings a real balance to the defense. As usual, Villa have continued to do well against the big teams. Since they don't need to dominate the ball against a team like Man City, they can focus on counterattacking quickly. In the midfield, Onana allows McGinn to push higher to help win the ball and pressure the opposition. When Villa force mistakes, they create chances to score on the break. We saw this on display against Arsenal. Matty Cash scored first after Villa used long balls to escape Arsenal's press. Martinez specifically was instructed to play longer passes to expose the gaps behind Arsenal's back line.
Now we can't get the full clip in because it's so long, the distance. This is not Emi Martinez with the ball on the edge of the box. This is a goal kick, I can assure you. So look at the distance from Emi Martinez when that ball's kicked to where that line is here. So Nkappi is actually deeper again than the rest of the back four. 78 yards from that 6 yard.
Villa's fullbacks, Cash and Maatsen, pushed very high to help the attack. Morgan Rogers drifted inside, creating space and helping Villa move the ball forward. Tillemans found pockets of space as well. Villa broke Arsenal's structure and created a lot of chances.
I thought Villa then got either side of Zubamendi brilliantly to cause a lot of problems.
Now Arsenal came back strong in the second half and equalized through Trossard. For a while, they actually looked like they might take control. They kept attacking down the right side with Saka, White, and Odegaard causing problems. Emery reacted with smart substitutions. He brought in Malen, Sancho, and later Buendia to give Villa fresh energy and wide options. This is exactly why Villa finished the match as the stronger side. It was also Unai Emery's substitution that led to the big moment. In stoppage time, Buendia scored the winner after a scramble in the box. Seriously, it looked like WrestleMania in there.
Just that little moment of quality in there. It obviously becomes a little bit scrappy when it goes into the box, but Really happy for Emi Buendia as well, a lad who was at Norwich and has also had a big knee injury. So to see him put the winner away in a second was, it was good to see.
The stadium exploded. It was Villa's 7th win in a row at the time, and it pushed them right into the title fight. That win over Arsenal was the perfect example of the new Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, 9 wins from 10 and second in the table.
Yep.
Do we have to sit up really and take notice now of this team?
Of course we do.
And credit to Villa, because I thought their football simply was that good. They've been that good at form. Couple of bumps in the road, but they really have put some results together. Credit to them and Unai Emery for the way they continue to go about their business.
Arsenal came into the match top of the league, full of confidence, having beaten the likes of Bayern Munich. But Villa were not afraid at all. They looked confident, organized, and were incredibly dangerous. They press really well, break quickly, and have multiple players that can step up in important moments. Unai Emery has built a team that believes they can beat anyone, and recently, they pretty much have. They are no longer the struggling team that we saw at the beginning of the season. They are a team to take seriously. Villa Park in particular is a fortress.
In Villa Park, I think, is just obviously the form that they're in as well. Unai Emery, the coach. So
the Claret and Blue basically don't lose at home, unless they're playing Crystal Palace for some weird reason. Since Arsenal's last visit in August of 2024, Villa have only lost at home twice, both times to Crystal Palace. No other team in Europe has more home wins over the last 3 years. Now, they started the season horribly, with no wins in their first 5 league games, but then something clicked. They won 9 of 10 games, collecting more points than any other Premier League side in that period. And if we go back even further, since March of 2025, they've won more league games than anyone else in the entire division. It's crazy how different things look now compared to the summer. Back then, the mood in the club was pretty low. Missing out on Champions League qualification really hurt them financially. They had to sell players. Other players were unsure about their future. There were even tensions behind the scenes between Emery and the sporting director Monchi. It felt like the Unai Emery era was sliding downhill. But the coaching staff didn't complain. They just worked harder. They doubled down on Emery's system. He told the players to stay together, to be resilient, and trust the process. And slowly, everything came back. Ross Barkley specifically talked about this. He said that only the people online believe that Emery's time was up, because everyone inside the club sees Unai Emery as one of the best managers in the world. Some analysts have said Villa were overperforming because their expected goals numbers weren't great.
Yeah, and then when people ask me, is it sustainable for Aston Villa? That's not, as you've just said, but that is. And when people are talking about Aston Villa for the league right now, I think that's a little bit premature.
But inside the club, nobody is worried. They believe their ability to score from range and create different types of chances makes them super unpredictable. Even the small wins matter. For example, beating Wolves 1-0 after barely training due to Europa League travel was seen as a huge positive internally. It showed that the team has heart, discipline, and belief. It's also helped that Villa's stars have stepped up. Morgan Rogers has been an absolute tank for the Claret and Blue. The more I watch this guy play, the more I realize why Tuchel backs him over Jude Bellingham. If you look at just his stats, you won't see the impact he has had. But ask any Villa fan and they'll tell you that he's been one of their best players. Playing next to Ollie Watkins in a second striker / center attacking mid hybrid role, he's been terrific. He's fast, he's strong, he's good on the ball. You guys remember that game he played against Arsenal last year? He genuinely looked head and shoulders better than everyone else on the pitch. He's young, so he's only going to get better and better, and there's no better manager to develop under than Unai Emery. Then you have Onana, who's really bolstered the midfield. He's tall, fast, and very strong. He's a midfielder that specializes at disrupting the play and winning the ball back. He covers ground very quickly and is terrific in the air. He can also carry the ball well with his long strides and is great in transition. He was needed desperately because Villa at the time had sold Douglas Luiz. Now that was mainly to comply with the profitability and sustainability rules, but it was a big miss because Douglas Luiz had been really good for Villa. Fortunately, Onana has perfectly replaced the Brazilian, dominating the midfield both with and without the ball. On the ball, he's actually very good, especially when you consider how tall he is. What's great about him is that not only has he been an absolute unit in winning the ball back, he's also picked up a lot of key goals for the club. Remember, he scored on his debut in a 2-1 win over West Ham. Just weeks later, he had scored against Leicester City. Then he continued his form into the Champions League, where he scored against Young Boys. He's been a little bit more inconsistent this season, but you could tell how good he could be from that first season. He's still scoring for the Claret and Blue, so I would say it's been money well spent. Everton let go of a top midfielder, and Aston Villa took full advantage. Whether he's playing next to Tielemans or McGinn, Emery always has a good partnership in the middle of the park. Onana provides balance playing next to anybody because he's able to provide a little bit of everything. For example, Tielemans is a better deep line playmaker, but Onana is a much better athlete, so he's able to really punish teams in transition, and of course, there's nobody better than him in the air. Then you have Super John McGinn, who is still at the heart of midfield. This guy, I mean, he's just a fan favorite, and it's not just because of his celebration. His left foot is just magical. He combines excellent technical quality with an unlimited work engine, making him such a valuable midfielder. Seriously, this guy never stops running, never stops working for the team. And then on top of that, he can pop up from anywhere getting you goals. Every team needs a John McGinn. Then Emiliano Martinez came back and he's proving once again why he's considered one of the best goalies in the world. The guy's mentality is just top. There is a reason he broke the record for the number of clean sheets for an Aston Villa goalkeeper in his first 100 Premier League games for the club. He is a cheat code on penalties, and having a keeper that is so cool and confident is huge for Villa, especially if they make it far in cup competitions. It just gives the backline so much confidence, knowing there's somebody behind them that can bail them out if they need it. Then we have Ross Barkley. Now he's mainly come off the bench, but I've quite liked some of his performances. It's crazy, he used to be one of the most sought after English talents during his Everton days. It's why Chelsea wanted him in 2018. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him in London. In fact, he actually spent a season on loan to Aston Villa while being a Chelsea player in the 2020-2021 season. He got 3 goals and 1 assist in 24 appearances before returning to Chelsea and then later being sold to Nice. But this time around, Barkley was signed after a very good season with Luton Town. He had gotten 5 goals and 6 assists in all competitions. Now, we still haven't seen that level of Ross Barkley, but considering he's surrounded with more talented players and a great manager, he still has time to put together some good performances. He might not be the star player that he used to be, but he's still a good asset off the bench. Then you have Malen. Now, Malen was brought in early in the winter transfer window last year. Villa wanted a pacey forward who's capable of getting in behind defenders and beating players one-on-one. That's Malen's specialty. He did it with the Arsenal under 18s and later under 23s. And then he did it again with PSV back in his Dutch homeland. The man used to be a goals and assist machine. He got 55 goals and 24 assists in 160 matches for PSV before he joined Dortmund in 2021. Now, his start at Villa wasn't the best, but now that he has adjusted more to the league and his new teammates, he's playing really well. Emery's system works to Malen's strengths due to how good he is in transition. When he plays out wide, he gets a lot of 1v1 opportunities in which he thrives. When he plays up top, he can use his pace to get in behind and then finish. He's adapted to what is required for the match because he's so versatile. At Dortmund, it was the same thing. He used to play anywhere across the front line. Then in defense, Ian Maatsen has been pretty good. He joined Aston Villa because he didn't get many opportunities at Chelsea, just constantly being loaned from club to club like your local hooker. During his time at Burnley, he helped the team clinch promotion back to the Premier League and was included in the championship team of the season as the left back. He's a very good traditional modern day fullback, and now he's showing the same qualities that people saw in him during his brief loan at Borussia Dortmund. His pace and overlapping runs helped create overloads on the left-hand side. He really showed his quality against Arsenal, just bodying Jurrien Timber, who's been fantastic all season. His pace just can't be coached, and he offers more going forward than someone like Digne. He has also improved a lot defensively. I think most Villa fans will tell you that it takes players some time to adjust to Unai Emery's system, and that explains Maatsen's slow start, but now he's looking really good. What a luxury for Aston Villa to have 2 good left backs. Now, Villa also have Jadon Sancho, but he's been quite inconsistent. One game, it looks like his best performance in a Villa shirt, then the next game, it looks like his worst. There is still hope that Emery can get the best out of him though, like what he did with Rashford, because Sancho at his best is a top quality player. Now, at this point, Emery still refuses to talk about titles. He continues to say that champions are only made in April, but even if he won't say it directly, Villa's performances speak for itself. They're towards the top of the Premier League table, they're basically unbeatable at home, and they've beaten some big teams along the way. They've risen from a horrible start to looking like one of the best teams in the country. Now, only time will tell if they are actually title contenders, but regardless, one thing is very clear. Aston Villa are no longer just a good team, they're one of the elite. They've gone Champions League football, they've beaten big teams, they have some great players, so we have to stop overlooking them. To see how far this team has come under Unai Emery, you have to check out this video right here.